My partner, a 27-year-old female, and I, a 27-year-old male, have been together for 6 years and married for 6 months. She is divorced from her aggressor and groomer, with whom she has a history of trauma and abuse. And as a result of her experiences, she has PTSD, depression, and an anxiety disorder. This is my first marriage, and I do my best to always treat her with kindness, respect, and compassion in all things, especially with regard to her trauma. She has been looking at schools for her postgraduate studies and went on a trip to visit some schools in November and to see a friend, a 30-year-old male, who happened to be in the same city at that time. I was unable to accompany her, as it was somewhat last minute, and I was in the busy season of my job. Upon her return from the trip, she was visibly shaken up and crying and repentant. When I asked her why, she told me that she hadn't been honest with me about why she went on the trip. After much coaxing, she told me that she had been having an emotional affair with someone she met through work, but that she had cut him off as soon as she realized what was happening. She told me that the real reason she went on the trip was to talk to her friend about it, because she was anxious about losing me and not sure what to do. This was obviously not the easiest pill to swallow, but I love my wife, and she was clearly broken up about it. So we sat down, talked it out, and figured out what to do differently next time, and she said she would talk to her therapist about it to see if they had any thoughts or advice. We hugged, made up, and moved on as best we could. Cut to today, I picked my wife up from therapy, and she was in tears, saying she had something she had to tell me. Through sobs, she told me she was attacked by her friend when she went on this trip, and that the emotional affair story was to cover up what actually happened. I'll keep the details light, but apparently the friend took advantage of her and she froze as a trauma response, and then, also out of trauma response, acted like everything was fine with this friend afterwards. Although she cut ties with them for weird boundaries, her words, a month or so ago. To be very clear, I do not blame her for what happened, nor am I upset with her for being attacked. I am hurt because of her dishonesty surrounding the situation. I don't know what to do. On one hand, my heart is broken that she has been carrying this alone for this long. On the other hand, I'm mad that she lied to me for so long about it, and that we got married, the ultimate commitment of trust, with this lie in place. We are spending the next couple of days apart, as I don't know what to say or if I have anything to say to her. Then we have a session with her personal therapist on Sunday to talk things over. What should I do? What topics should I focus on in therapy on Sunday? Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. I'm sorry, but I believe your wife cheated on you and her lies keep changing as the sun sets, and this is the cover-up. She is using her past to play you, and it's up to you if you want to be played or leave the relationship altogether. Emotional affair, school visit, friend visit, attacked by friend, no emotional affair. Here's the question. If there was no emotional affair and no school visit, why did she go up to visit this male friend without you? And why would she need to visit him in order to talk to him about a supposed emotional affair? Are phones not available? It just seems like one lie after the next. She has too much going on to be in any relationship, and you're setting yourself up to be lied to continuously. Comment 2. This isn't what you asked, but why are the two of you getting couples counseling from her therapist? This is usually a very bad idea because of potential conflict of interest. Your wife has been her client, and you haven't. It's very possible couples counseling will help with your communication, but ideally, this would be a separate counselor, and both of you should start the counseling with a clean slate. If you end up going, this would be the first question I'd ask her therapist. If you Google it, you might get some ideas on how to phrase it. Now for the update, I'm back with another update, and it's been a crazy few weeks, let me tell you. So, after the last time I posted, things were still pretty shaky between me and Olivia, but we decided to try therapy together. We went to this session, and honestly, Olivia really opened up about her past trauma and how it messes with her head every day. I'm talking about stuff she didn't even tell me before. It was tough to hear, but at least the session felt useful. Still, I couldn't shake this feeling that there was some distance between us, like we were in the same room but not really connecting, you know? Anyway, we agreed to try to rebuild some trust through open communication, because that's what adults do. Thanksgiving was coming up, and my parents really wanted to meet Olivia's parents. They were super excited about it, which made me a bit nervous because of everything going on. So we decided to rent out this big place for the celebration, tons of food and drinks, all that stuff. Leading up to it, Olivia seemed really nervous about the whole gathering, and I kept trying to reassure her that it would be fine. I mean, what else could I do? So the day of the event rolls around, and everything's going pretty well, honestly. My parents loved meeting Olivia and her parents. There were a few awkward moments, but nothing we couldn't handle. Then, my brother Jake decided to make a toast. He's always been the sentimental type, so I knew this was coming. He started talking about how grateful he was for family and love and all that, and I saw Olivia tear up a bit. It was sweet, honestly. But then she excused herself to go outside for some fresh air. I figured she just needed a breather, so I let her be for a minute. A little while later, I went outside to check on her, and I found her sitting on this bench, just staring at her phone. As soon as I got close, she quickly hid her screen. That made me feel some type of way, let me tell you. So I asked her who she was texting, but she totally dodged the question. We went back inside, but she was still acting kind of distracted. I noticed she kept glancing at her phone throughout the evening, which was just weird. After dinner, she excused herself again, saying she needed to go to the restroom. So she left, and I took the chance to check her phone while she was gone. I know, I'm not proud of it, but the gut feeling was too strong. And wow, was I not ready for what I found. There were messages from the work friend who had crossed boundaries before. The messages were flirty and suggestive. I was shocked, to say the least. So, when Olivia came back, I confronted her right away. I asked her what was up with the messages, but she denied anything inappropriate was going on. She said it was all harmless. Yeah, right, I tried to keep my cool, but I was just done. The argument started to get heated, and soon enough, family members were looking at us like we were crazy. Olivia got so upset that she stormed out of the venue, leaving me there to explain to everyone what just happened. My parents tried to calm me down, but I was just overwhelmed. I decided to leave the gathering early and went home by myself. When I got home, Olivia was waiting for me, and we had a heated talk about trust and boundaries. She admitted that she felt pressured by that friend to reconnect after everything that happened. I was just done, honestly. I suggested we take a break from each other to think things through. So, I moved into the guest room to give her some space. The next day, I got a call from Olivia's parents. They were really concerned about her well-being and asked me for an update. I shared what had happened at the gathering, and they were not happy to hear it. They wanted to meet for coffee to talk about Olivia's situation. Honestly, I was relieved because I knew we needed some extra help with this. I returned home, and I was determined to set some firm boundaries. I planned to invite Olivia's parents over for a serious conversation about everything going on. The meeting with her parents went really well. We were all on the same page and ready to be a united front for Olivia. We agreed that she needed some extra support, and I was all in for that. After we talked, I decided it was time for me to take a stand. I needed to limit communication with that work friend. I know a lot of people think I should have done it before, but I really thought we were done with him. Anyway, I informed Olivia of my decision and emphasized that we were both committed to healing. I told her I was going to let him know that he needed to back off, and she was okay with it. I just wanted to share all this because it's been a lot. I'm hoping we can keep moving forward and actually make some progress together. Edit. In the past update, I mentioned a 6-month marriage, but we've only been married for 4 months. I misspoke. Olivia and I haven't had any contact with the friend since I spoke with him. She has also cut off contact with other friends from work to focus on our healing. Am I the idiot for telling my girlfriend to cut off contact with a guy from the gym? Am I the idiot for telling my girlfriend to cut off contact with a guy from the gym? My girlfriend and I have been together for 7 years and have lived together for almost 5. We overall have a good relationship, but have had some rough patches as all relationships tend to have. We have a dog and a cat and have discussed marriage and kids when the time is right. For context, my girlfriend is vegan and I am not. I mostly eat plant-based at home and we make it work even though she wishes I was vegan. It has been a point of contention for us and is probably the biggest thorn in our relationship because it's very important to her. Despite that, we overall love each other and have made it work. Anyways, my girlfriend came home from the gym telling me how some random guy she's never seen there struck up a conversation with her. As the joke goes, if you don't know someone's vegan, they'll tell you. And they bonded over both being vegan. She told me that the guy said he wanted to be friends and asked for her number. She came home and told me about it, and then showed me that he immediately was texting her asking her to go on a walk sometime. I asked if she even mentioned having a boyfriend, and she did not. Later, she claims that she did end up telling him via text that she has a boyfriend and hopes just friendship is okay. She said that he agreed, but then doubled down on wanting to go on a walk with her. I asked if she thought he was attractive, and her response was, "I don't know, it happened so fast." That was probably insecure of me, I know. She came to me and was open and transparent about the situation. But am I wrong for feeling a little uneasy, like she just extended an olive branch to a potential suitor if we don't work out? Her employment is fully vegan, so she has no shortage of vegan friends to relate to. I never would have done that. A girl asked for my number a few months back, and I declined and told her I was in a relationship. Even if I shared a common interest with the women, I still would have declined and felt uneasy about it because she was clearly interested in me. Am I being insecure about this, or was it inappropriate for her to give her number to some random guy at the gym? Now for an update. Man, you guys are brutal in the comments, but thanks for the responses. We had a long conversation, and I told her that she crossed a boundary, especially because she made no mention of me until after the fact. She reiterated several times that she loves me and is happy in our relationship. She showed me that she sent her friend a screenshot of her conversation with the guy and said, "This cute guy at the gym asked for my number. We should get you two in the same room together," or something along those lines. I still feel uneasy, but I guess it helps that she was trying to hook her friend up with the guy. I did make it clear that giving your number to a guy while not mentioning that you have a boyfriend is over the line, and she apologized. I think we're good, but we'll see. Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Give her the shoe on the other foot analogy. She probably wouldn't take too kindly to you coming home and mentioning how you got a girl's number. That girl texts you and asks you to go for a walk. You never told that girl you had a girlfriend. How would she feel? If she says anything but anger, she's not being truthful. It's good that she was upfront about it, but she has no idea what this guy's intentions are. All too often, women are trusting of men when it comes to their intentions. Men don't often say what they're truly after. That sucks for women. It's horrible, but it's true. At the end of the day, your comfort with the guy is just as important as hers. Your radar is going off, and more than likely, it's right. Comment 2. You are not being insecure. The guy is clearly interested in her and doesn't care that she has a boyfriend. She clearly is attracted to him. Sometimes you think you know someone and think the relationship is great. Then you find out around the 7-year mark that it was all a lie. I'm going through finding out my 7-year relationship was founded on nothing but cheating and lies. And just last month, I would have told you I had the healthiest relationship on earth with the most loving girl in the world. Some people are good at making themselves seem like ideal partners to our face while being disgusting behind our back. Now for the update. It's been 2 weeks since everything happened with Olivia and that dude from the gym. Honestly, the days have been kind of fuzzy, but we've been getting by, I guess. I was at work about a week ago when my phone buzzed with a message from my buddy Jake. First thing I see is him asking if I'd talked to Olivia lately. I mean, we live together, so it's safe to say we talk, right? Anyway, he goes on to say he saw her at the local farmer's market over the weekend. Apparently, she looked happy and was chatting a lot with a group of people. I don't know, man. I brushed it off like it was no big deal, just a casual outing, nothing to worry about. So that evening, I thought I'd surprise Olivia with dinner. Figured it could be a nice way to keep things chill and normal between us. I picked up some stuff for her favorite vegan dish. She seriously loves this. When I got home, Olivia was already there, but she seemed a bit distracted, like she didn't notice me at first. I asked her about her day, and she said it was fine, but I could tell something was off. Her phone was buzzing like crazy, but she kept it face down, which was kind of weird. I tried to chat with her while cooking, but she just seemed distant, always checking her phone. After dinner, she excused herself to take a call in another room. When she came back, she acted like everything was totally normal, but I wasn't buying it. So I decided to bring it up, asking if everything was okay. She just brushed it off, saying she was just tired. The next day, I went to the gym to clear my head. Figured I could blow off some steam. And guess who I ran into? Yeah, that guy from the gym who had talked to Olivia. He recognized me right away and started chatting, acting all friendly. I asked him about his workout routine, trying to keep it casual. He mentioned hanging out with Olivia at the farmer's market, and that's when I felt this knot in my stomach. I confronted Olivia later that evening about the number exchange. I didn't want to bring it up, but I had to say something. She admitted that they had been texting, but claimed it was just friendly. So I asked to see the messages, and she hesitated before showing me. Yeah, there were lighthearted texts, but a few definitely felt a little flirty. I told her I was uncomfortable with the whole thing, and she insisted she wasn't into him, but honestly, I didn't fully believe her. The following weekend was my parents' anniversary dinner. Olivia was invited, and I figured it could help ease the tension a bit. So during the dinner, my dad brought up relationships, joking about love and all that. After dinner, while everyone was mingling, I caught Jake whispering with Rachel. Yeah, that's my ex Rachel. They're not together or anything. But I found it a bit odd. I overheard Jake saying he thought Olivia was hiding something. So of course, I had to confront him about it outside. He said he was worried about me, which made me feel a little uneasy. I decided to spill the beans, telling him about the guy from the gym. He suggested I keep an eye on Olivia, which made me even more uneasy. I don't want to be that guy, So I went back to the table where Olivia was laughing with my mom. After dinner, I told Olivia I wanted to talk about us and the situation. She reacted defensively, claiming I was overreacting. I had to set a boundary, man. I told her I wouldn't tolerate any more contact with that guy. She reluctantly agreed, but I could sense some resistance there. So yeah, that's where we're at. We're still living together, trying to make things work, but I don't know how much longer I can keep this up. My buddy Jake has been supportive, but I'm worried about getting too deep into this whole thing. I just want to find a way to make it work, Edit. It's been a few weeks since the last update. Olivia and I are still living together, but the atmosphere is tense. I've been spending more time at work and with friends, including Jake. He and I had a heart-to-heart about everything, and honestly, he's been a big help. My parents noticed the change in our relationship, and it was hard explaining things to them. No other contacts from that guy have happened. But I still feel uneasy, just taking it day by day for now. Am I the idiot for confronting my lying boyfriend and his furious wife after discovering his double life? Am I the idiot for falling for a married man and getting threatened by his wife? I have been with this man for about a year. It's actually 11 months, going on a year. We met in September of last year, 2022, at a bar, and I know I told myself I would never take somebody seriously that I meet at a bar, but I figured it would have been better meeting somebody in person rather than over the internet on dating apps. So I took a chance. A lot of things were strange throughout our relationship this year, but I had fallen in love, so I kind of just chalked it up to maybe I'm overreacting because I have strong feelings. Recently, I found it odd that he has not wanted to meet my daughter yet, considering we have been together for a year. I also found it a bit odd that I was the only one saying, "I love you." I confronted him about it, and he told me that he does not fall in love quickly. He also told me that he has a situation that he needs to get out of first before he's able to meet family. That made me wonder what's going on, so I put on my detective gear and I grabbed a picture of his ID to get his address. One of the strange things in our relationship that never made sense to me was not being able to go over to his place. There was always a reason I couldn't. Anyway, I digress. I decided to drive an hour and 30 minutes away to this address on his ID. I found his car, and I strolled around the block a little bit until I found the exact house number. It was the one house with the garage open on the block. I saw 2 children and a woman with long black Pocahontas hair living their best life, happy at 11 a.m., playing inside the kiddie pool with a little slide. Happy family. I called my mother, devastated. I tried to reach him, and he was unreachable. 2 days went by, and he finally reached out to me through Instagram to let me know that someone had stolen his phone and to call him at another number. I took it upon myself to research the name that his Instagram was under on Facebook. Sure enough, I found all of his family, and I found his wife. I am stuck between letting the wife know or just dealing with this heartbreak and moving on. These days, a lot of women don't even care if they're being cheated on, especially if they're being taken care of. And based on how nice their home was, I could only imagine she's a stay-at-home wife. As the other woman, you end up looking more foolish than you were in the first place by reaching out to her. I am absolutely devastated because the person that I have been talking about a future with already belongs to somebody else. Finding out that the man you really thought was the one has an entire family brings about a different kind of pain. Now, for a few comments before the update, these days, a lot of women don't even care if they're being cheated on, especially if they're being taken care of. From the looks of how nice their home is, I could only imagine she's a stay-at-home wife. And as the other woman, you end up looking more foolish than you were in the first place by reaching out to her. This is such a judgmental, misguided, and frankly mean comment. Tell the wife, do the right thing. She has the right to know what type of man her husband is, so she can decide what she wants to do. Her health is also at risk because he's probably been with more than just you. Wait, are you actually trying to blame the wife? What a dreadful thing to say. That most women don't care as long as they are taken care of. And that somehow you are going to look foolish for telling her? Like it's somehow her fault her husband is cheating? I think you are angry with him, but also angry with her for being married and having his children. Get a sexually transmitted disease test. Either tell her or not. Now for the update. 3 days after finding out he was married, I decided to confront him about the truth. I sent him a text asking to meet up at a diner where we often had breakfast. At that point, I was just so over the nonsense. I needed answers. He agreed to meet me, saying he wanted to explain everything. Yeah, right, like he was going to explain anything. I arrived early, feeling a mix of anger and confusion. Like, how did I even get here? I was a single mom who just wanted some normalcy and a little love in my life. He was my bright spot, not some total jerk. When he showed up, he looked nervous and kept glancing around like he was looking for trouble or something. We sat in a booth, and I demanded to know why he lied about his family. He started with excuses about being unhappy in his marriage and needing time to figure things out. I told him it had been almost a year. How much more time did he need? Forever? He never mentioned his wife or kids in our conversations. Not once. He claimed he was protecting me from the mess of his life, insisting he cared about me. I wanted to throw my coffee at him, but I held it together. This guy was out of touch. Then I decided to take a bold step and showed him the photos I found on social media of his family. His face went pale, and I swear I could see the color drain from it. He tried to downplay the situation, saying they were just pictures from the past. Oh yeah, then why the heck were they on his Facebook page from, like, yesterday? I pressed for the truth, and he finally admitted he was living a double life. He said he was looking for a connection he didn't have at home. I told him that didn't justify lying to me for almost a year. In a moment of frustration, I stood up and left the diner. I couldn't take it anymore. Over the next few days, I tried to distance myself, focusing on my daughter and work. I couldn't afford to lose my job over this idiot. On my daughter's birthday, I got a text from him asking to meet again. Against my better judgment, I agreed, thinking he might have a change of heart. We met at a local ice cream shop where kids were celebrating birthdays. The sounds of laughter made me want to cry. He confessed he wanted to leave his wife, but didn't have the guts to do it yet. So basically, he wanted to stay married, but play house with me too. The following week, I got a call from an unknown number while at home with my daughter. I answered, and it turned out to be his wife. She confronted me about the relationship. The wife revealed she had been looking for answers and tracked me down. I tried to explain that I didn't know he was married. I was scared out of my mind. This lady was furious and threatened to tell everyone about the affair. I couldn't blame her for being mad. A few days later, I noticed a strange car parked outside my house. I didn't think much of it until I got a message from my neighbor mentioning they saw him. My heart sank. After a week of silence from him, I received a package at my doorstep. Inside was a letter from him, begging me to reconsider and saying he was still trying to leave. Honestly, what was I even supposed to do with that? I was so drained. Edit: I never expected to be in this situation. I didn't know his wife was going to contact me, but I'm glad she did. I assured her that I had no idea he was married and that I didn't want to break up her family. I asked her why she stayed with him, and she said he was a good father and provider. She likes the life they have. I guess they're still trying to work things out, and for now, they're staying together. If you like this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.